All right. Welcome to another Woods Report.
Why you went silent?
What?
Were you choking?
No.
Oh.
Kinda, yeah, I guess, in a way. I don't know what happened. I don't know
the way
why
it came out. I was like, you Woods Report.
My mouth is dry, so I was thinking of getting a drink of water, but I was in the middle of saying, welcome to another Woods Report. But anyway, there's a lot going on. Well, my mother laughing until I
Same
said,
old intro. Is
a lot going on, a lot going on, a lot going on.
So is a lot of cars. My grandmother would say that every time we drove her somewhere.
Well,
so is a lot of cars.
I think the main thing that's going on is the GOP, the Republicans.
Yeah, because the debate gets you all stirred up, and then you get everybody's opinions.
But they got a lot going on. They got that going on. They fighting with each other. They getting ready to go. The country's getting ready to shut down. They going after Biden.
People are on strike.
They got Hober, whatever her name is, groping people in theaters, and Marjorie Taylor Greene following Comover around, and he's pretending like he's at a union, and he's not at a union. It's so much going on in that party.
Oh,
I'm so glad I'm not part of any party. I'm not part of the Democrats or Republicans.
But even though we keep saying that like we're supposed to brag about it.
I am bragging about it.
No, not for that purpose. I'm just saying we don't. Some people are like party driven. They are like to the ground.
There's no way.
I love how Sarah on The View actually vocalizes how her view.
Okay.
At the beginning, we probably were more party driven, but not so much intense like people are.
Right.
Where we can talk about, so-and-so, they're the opposite party or another party, and they're giving good viewpoints. You're like, I never thought about that. That's a good idea.
Right.
So because there's good ideas both on both sides or on all sides, because one year I voted independent.
Right.
But the fact is, people are so in their party, they don't even want to listen to good advice or good policies from another party because they're so into their party.
Right.
We're not like that. Thank God.
Yeah. I don't care.
When we listened last night, I actually was listening to see who had some good ideas.
Oh my God, these guys.
They just all over the place.
This Republican debate was hilarious.
They just talked all over each other like.
You know what they actually did? They actually improved Trump's numbers.
Yeah. Because
they made him look like he's not as dumb.
For not even being there.
I understand
they challenged him for not being there, a few of them.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be there.
He don't need to be there, you guys. Quit with this. Inviting him. Even Fred Flintstone. I'm talking to you, Trump.
And he had, we'll get to we'll get to him in a minute. Let me say hi to some people. So he's hilarious. They all were hilarious. They all had sound bites. Oh. And they all did them. They're not comedians.
No.
So when you have people who are not comedians
get up, funny.
They sound like, get a load of Ralphie over there. And it's like,
that's not funny. Even the delivery wasn't funny. Because how you deliver a joke or deliver a punchline makes a big difference.
Exactly. Wendy says, hey, Wendy, we missed you yesterday. All that stuff that's going on in Philadelphia.
All
we didn't know.
well in your neighborhood.
Yeah. William says, hey, hello, ladies.
Hey.
Emerald says, hey, ladies.
Hey, everybody.
Wendy says, what's up, girlies? And everybody's saying hi to each other.
You staying safe?
Yeah,
are you even near where those riots are, girl?
Wendy says, they were trying too hard to be funny and sarcastic. Thank you. It was over the top.
Some of them were the actual joke.
So look at my man Vivek over there.
Swami.
Hey, what about tell us that, Vivek? Why don't you tell us? And then the guy on the other side, yeah, tell us, Vivek. Tell us, Vivek. Why don't you tell us? Like he's like,
like Nikki and Tim would be arguing, and other people be jumping in.
You're my friend, Tim. But right now, I'm gonna get on you.
But what about you, fat boy down there? I don't even like you either.
Horrible. And Vivek's hair was about 10 feet tall. Who told him to rise his hair?
I don't know. Oh my God, it was a joke.
And Tim Scott, I got a whole segment on you. Uncle Tom.
Yes, the comedy.
No, every white person calm down here.
No racism in America.
All right, first of all, I have no facial hair, so you shouldn't be bothered by me. I'm a black man with no facial hair. All right?
Oh, God.
I'm not attractive, so your women won't want me. I have nothing going for me. All right?
But I want to be the next president.
Oh, my God. Horrible.
Oh.
All right, so I wrote some stuff down.
Did you?
I had to write it
You
down.
had to take notes.
It was so much stuff going on, I had to write it down.
Were you able to even hear them? They were talking over each other.
When they
the moderators had trouble. I felt bad for them. I'm like, y'all better get in there.
You want to turn your mic down. If you have to turn your mic down, we got to turn your mic down.
Oh, no, sir. We're not asking you that question right.
And then the lady, I'm sorry, y'all can say it's prejudice or whatever. That was Latino. I could barely understand what she was saying.
I know.
And you could tell they couldn't either because they was like this. When she was asking a question, and they didn't want to sound racist or prejudiced and tell her to repeat it. So they had to just answer any old thing. You didn't even answer what she said. I even knew what she was saying.
My God.
It took some time to get it, but I knew what she was saying.
And it was so funny because she was representing the black Latino because she was a darker skinned Latino.
Thank you.
I would think for sure on The View, Sonny would bring that.
Thank you.
You know, how she represents.
All right, here we go. Wendy just said it. That was my first thing.
What?
The Donald Duck line.
Oh, no. He did the arm like this.
Yeah. The lean in.
I'm talking to
That's
you,
not. Listen to me, Donald Trump. Now, I know you're watching. I know you're sitting on your toilet in the middle of the night. I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching me.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm fat boy. But guess what you are, buddy? Huh? You didn't show up tonight, so you're no longer Donald Trump.
Yes.
You're Donald Duck.
Oh my God. Oh my God, I had to pee. I almost peed on myself. I'm like, when he leaned into the camera.
Lean in.
I'm talking to you.
And then I said, he got another one because he's leaning in again.
Right.
All right, the camera's back on me. All right, here we go. All right, hold on for a second. Here we go. All right, you know what, Donald? Yeah. You kept saying you was going to build that wall, right? But you only built 52 miles of it. And you said Mexico was going to pay for it. Well, with 52 miles, I'm sure they would.
When he said that, and Joy said the comment that Nikki Haley made about Vivek making me feel stupid.
Yeah. I got that on
here.
That
didn't make sense because I'm not stupid because of you. You're stupid.
That's
You're
a lie.
stupid.
That's a lie. Mike Pence. So Fred Flintstone here.
Mm-hmm.
He said that we got a Biden. He's sleeping with the teacher, and she's part of the teacher board. So whatever union. So he's gonna be for the teachers union. Well, Pence leaned in. Hello. Hold on for a second, buddy.
Mother, can I say this?
Now, I've been sleeping with a teacher for 38 years.
Are you okay with that, Mother?
And she's not part of any union.
Joy even said that on The View.
As if we got to think.
Oh my God,
we got to think about them sleeping together.
He made Mother mad.
She got rollers in her hair, night cream on. He's talking about sleeping with her.
Pence, honey.
Oh my God. 38 years. I thought they'd been married longer than that. He looks older than that.
I know.
40 years, that's it? Mm-hmm. Get out of here.
Thank you. What else?
All right. So we got Vimba Kumahama. And Rashi Kumahama, Akun Matata. And somebody told him, you're a little obnoxious on the last debate. So calm it down, buddy. You're looking like a snotty-nosed kid acting all big and bad with yourself.
I know.
So he calmed himself down as much as he could.
I know.
When I'm president, some of these guys might be working for me,
I remember the last... one of the questions, because I don't know what you got on your list.
I got all of this on my list.
Do you have that one question that they asked at the end?
Which one?
Right.
I got that one. I got that one down. Okay. All right, here we go. So he calmed himself down.
Uh-huh.
But that didn't stop Tim Scott, Mushmouth, because Mushmouth from the Cosby Show said he had already came with a line for this guy.
Okay.
So
he was practicing.
Yeah, you're not gonna have me practicing all this time, and then you turn the keys and try to be different.
Uh-huh.
I'm getting my line out, whether you're a snotty nosed brat or not.
Uh-huh.
So why don't you tell us, Rami, about your businesses in China?
Uh-huh.
Go ahead, tell us about that.
Nikki jumped on them too.
Well, when I found out that I dismissed those things, and then Nikki had to jump in. Yeah, when you found out you was running for president.
Thank you.
And that's around the time when you started voting.
That's what Pitts said that.
Pitts said that.
Yeah.
They all had a line.
Was that around the time you actually started to vote in the presidential election?
All had a line. Now, the good thing about Pitts is he's not jumping in like everybody else.
Exactly.
He's going to wait for his line.
Let me wait for my question.
So my question has nothing to do with this.
That's the Christian thing to do.
I'm going to wait and then I'm going to jump in like I'm supposed to.
Yes.
So I got that one going on. Tim and Rami going back and forth. You couldn't hardly hear nothing because they was talking over each other. Mm-hmm. And Rami kept putting his finger. I gave you time. I want to have time because remember he's from the decade of we each get time to speak.
Exactly.
The older people, you jump in when you get in. He's a younger person.
That double touch.
Teacher, may I speak? We don't do that when we're older. We just get in there.
Just jump in there.
All right. So anyway,
go ahead.
So him and Tim was going back and forth. Then I got Rami and Nikki. That's when you said she made the comment.
Yeah.
Every time you speak, I get dumber. Oh, that was a ridiculous line.
Stupid.
So I talked about Rami's hair being high.
Mm-hmm.
Well, DeSantis, he stepped it up.
Oh, he sure did.
DeSantis, he got him a black makeup artist.
3 times.
Did you see the black makeup artist come out?
No, I didn't. I'm surprised he let her touch his face.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make me too dark.
The problem with Pence, he didn't have any makeup on.
Yeah.
He looked like a vampire.
Ghost, yeah.
But DeSantis wanted you to know. Everybody else got their makeup off. He wants you to see he has a black woman doing his makeup.
See, I'm all about CRT and how slavery
she
has done
doesn't care about that, me getting rid of the black history. She's doing my makeup. So what do you care?
So he did step his game up.
He stepped his game up.
Because he even challenged Trump not being there as well.
They all had to because Trump, I'll talk about that later.
Okay.
He said in his speech.
He dismissed them.
He said, none of them are going to be my VP. He said, none of them are going to. He said, you think they're trying to be in the cabinet? I'm not giving any of them.
He did that last term.
So this is making them take the gloves off a little bit more.
Oh, so I'm not going to. There's no, but Ramaswamy.
Well, he didn't get the memo.
Ramaswamy is still trying to get in there.
He's programmed to kiss Donald Duck's butt.
Hit his hand up.
So he can't, and he was getting ready to write, like you said at the end.
Yeah,
who gets voted off the
question?
They should have asked him, who was you writing?
Who were you getting ready to write? Your hand started moving.
Probably this guy in the corner right here, Fonz. What's his name? William said he looked like Fonz. The Fonz.
And he kept butting in.
He actually was good, though. Some of the stuff he said was actually good. What? Like we do here in North Dakota.
How many people are in North Dakota?
About 3.
Come on, you guys.
But all 3 of us work together.
I'm sure. I thought about that. I said, what's the population in North Dakota?
So that was my highlights.
Okay.
My highlights was that.
What was the last question they asked?
The one about who would you vote off the island?
Oh, that was the question.
And a few of them picked up a piece of paper and was getting ready to write.
Who would you vote off the island? And Fred Flintstone was right, though.
Fred Flintstone, well, hold on. They all was getting ready to do it. And DeSantis stepped up, said, hey, hold on for a minute here. I'm the one that's about 40 points behind Donald Trump. I'll win if he gets put in prison. And I don't think we should do this.
Thank you.
And they all were like, okay, sir, we want to be part of your cabinet because you're going to be the one that's going to be voting.
We'll follow you. What you say?
And then the news people the commentators tried to put Fred Flintstone on the spot. And said, we saw you actually wrote something. Who did you write? He said, I wrote Donald Trump. He needs to be voted off the island.
That's all he was about, you guys. We knew what he was coming in for.
Exactly.
He was going to put a spotlight on his mess.
Yep.
And he's not going to go for it. He's like, dude, you guys, come on. Yep. He's going to probably be put in jail.
That's right.
So he gets off the island.
Yes, he's out of there.
Go ahead.
So that was it with them. The highlights, like I said, some of the stuff they said was okay.
When they
You
gave a
made
little bit more
comment.
details of their policies.
Nikki Haley, to me, is the only one that kind of gives policy.
Well, they chewed her
whether you agree with her or not.
They chewed her up on The View.
Well, what happened on there?
Apparently, Vivek, he wrote a book.
Okay.
And she endorsed it. She wrote a little blurb
before
about
this presidency.
Well,
thing?
The point that Sonny supposedly was making is that when she found out he was running, she still gave that blurb on his book.
Okay.
Now, you know how you can not really. Here's the thing. I don't think none of them are at each other's throat the way they were showing themselves on that show.
Okay.
Because they walked away, said, hey.
No, you noticed Tim Scott didn't shake Nikki Haley's hand.
Well, she went the other direction.
Well, they went after each other.
They're not angry. Like to the point where if they wrote a book that has really nothing to do with this process, if you wrote a good book, I'm going to say this is a good book.
Kamala Harris is the vice president.
About that.
Kamala Harris is the vice president. Her and Biden would at each other's throats.
That's the point that was, thank you for saying that, because I wish Alyssa on The View had made that comment. She could have said to Sonny and to Whoopi, when we saw the debate with Biden and Kamala, if Kamala wrote a book and Biden didn't endorse it or put a blurb about it, you would be mad about it, wouldn't you?
Right. So, or the fact that Biden made her his vice president.
Exactly.
I don't
need all yes men on my team. Right. I need some people that think opposite of me.
And she went after him.
Yes, she did.
She did.
But one of the things on The View that I really got upset about, and I said, Alyssa, my mom and I were talking because we watch The View every day. Mm-hmm. Whoopi and Sonny, to me, truly act like the stereotypical Black woman. But Alyssa, being the only Republican at that time, she needs to step her game up. Right. And when you are doing your view against women who are strong-headed, strong-minded, you got to get in there. Yep. And you got to say, hey, don't cut me off and let me finish my comment. Because she brought up a good point. The fact that my sister and I are not any party driven, Whoopi made the comment that Nikki Haley or none of them really said anything that made me think and was concerned about the policies and all that's going on. And she had her little checklist, immigration, China, the foreign affairs. And Alyssa said, you guys are not Republicans.
So you're not going to agree
You're not going to agree pretty much as a Democratic, a strong-minded Democrat on a lot of their views. Yeah. So why would you would say, And Alyssa, I felt, need to get that out stronger. Sarah did make a good point too. With the Nikki Haley slamming that they did on The View, Nikki is hypocritical. She's hypocritical and she's blah, 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 and blah, blah. Sarah said, I would take Nikki Haley hypocritical over Trump any day.
I agree.
And we all went, think about that. Right. But that was pretty much I wanted to say that.
All right, good.
Go ahead.
Well, right here, I'm talking about Mushmouth right here.
You asked me who was the character.
Tell me he don't look
Bill
like Mushmouth.
Cosby's kids, the Cosby kids, that he favors or he reminds you of.
Mushmouth. And that's exactly what he had last night. Tim Scott.
The way he talks.
Tim Scott, basically, in order for him to get on stage, which makes sense, at a Republican, running under the Republican umbrella, is he has to appease white people. He got to make white people feel, look, slavery wasn't the worst thing that could have happened
I
to black
understand
people.
how you feel about that.
And these black lazy people need to get up, pull themselves up by their own bootstraps. I was raised in a single mom's house.
He did mention that
in the hood. And for some reason, my mushmouth self made it out. So every other guy there, even though he's being shot at, some kids playing on the playground, it doesn't matter. They need to pull themselves up.
You can make it.
Yeah, I made it out of the war zone, so you should be able to make it out too. Then he goes and he compares. Listen to this. Tim Scott suggests slavery wasn't as bad as the welfare that Black America.
Dang, I wish he was back then there at that time.
South Carolina senator delivered a very embarrassing talking point during the Republican debate. And he was passionate, too, when he was talking. He was passionate. A lot of deplorable things were said during the Republican debate on Wednesday night. But this comment from Republican candidate Tim Scott may just take the cake. During the debate, Scott argued that the welfare assistance was harder than slavery for Black Americans. Black families survived slavery, he said. We survived poll taxes and literacy tests. Okay. He said Black families survived slavery. Is he talking about when your kids is taken away from you, or when the wife is shipped from one farm to the other farm? Or how is he saying the family survived slavery?
Like, to break it down, what is he?
And even when I gave my example of trying to go back and look at my mom's history, I only go to a certain part, and then the family is split up, and they're listed as cattle.
Not even property or animal.
Like so cattle. What is he talking about? You are a bonehead.
Only thing he did, keep going. The one thing he did bring up is because we're using the Emerald saw the documentary, the 14th Amendment,
right,
about the slavery and stuff, and they're using that now for immigrants.
All right. He said, we survived discrimination being woven into the laws of our country, he added, in a line that for a moment sounded like he might actually be acknowledging systematic racism. Systemic racism. What was hard to survive, because he said woven into our fabric. So it sounded, he's in one way, he's saying that, so you do believe that it's woven into the fabric.
If it's woven into
that
the
means
fabric,
it's systematic.
It's systemic. It's in our systems.
But anyway.
It's in our laws.
But then on the other hand, no, it's not.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah. What was hard to survive was Johnson's Great Society, where they decided to put money, where they decided to take the Black father out of the household to get a check in the mail. So he's saying that they decided, what we're going to do is we're going to take the Black father out of the house, and then we're going to destroy the family.
Break the family.
We're going to break the family up. That's still part of the system.
Right.
Which is still part of slavery.
Right.
It's still the same mindset. Anyway, Johnson's Great Society, launched in 1964, was of the most significant federal social welfare programs in U.S. history. Then he also made it seem like the stereotype that most Black people are on welfare. When we know that most of the people on welfare are white.
He's running with that poll too. That's where they were upset. When I read the documentary with the Essence magazine again, with that the 5 Black men started, the women, the issues with the Black women had a negative view from Reagan, because they were in Reagan's building. So they were every now and then drop of how Reagan spoke on certain laws and carrying on that same "Make America Great."
Right.
It started with him as well. So he said the same thing about welfare being, he used the Black woman in a negative way, and we're really the result of welfare, and using Reagan did this. So it's almost like he's picking up that
he's in the Reagan Library.
He's in the Reagan Library.
So, but this same program that he's talking about created Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security benefits, assistance for elderly and poor. So what is he talking about?
And then maybe he's thinking as a Republican, sometimes you and I even talk about because Whoopi has made it clear she was on welfare when she first had, started out, and she didn't have money with her daughter, whatever. And welfare, she used the welfare system to get, pick up herself up and get a job and do what she needed to do. Remember, we were saying sometimes you need to review a lot of these programs because they're becoming crutches for people.
Right, but that's a different argument.
That's a different argument in a different debate.
Yes.
Like, don't throw the baby away with the bathwater. Exactly. Maybe look at it and find a way where it's not being taken advantage of.
Exactly.
But I think he's sometimes thinking, like you're saying, with the percent thinking in his mind that most people on welfare are Black women.
Right. But my thing is, if he wants to have a discussion about how the father being missing in the home, and about Black men being locked up in greater number, and about changing, it's so many things, cocaine, crack, same substance, but you knew crack cocaine was in certain areas and cocaine was in richer areas. So you lock people up for crack.
Right.
So of course, more black people and low or income people gonna be locked up.
Right.
Stuff like that. If he wants to have that kind of conversation about how black people, the home is being changed, all of that, that's different. But him, just like DeSantis, should never, ever, ever bring up the word slavery. I don't want to hear anything about black people benefiting from slavery. I don't want to hear anything about nothing has been, slavery has made us better. We survived it, but we can't survive the welfare system. That's killing us. I'm sick of people bringing us back to slavery. And black people are the only race that allows people to do that. Jewish people would not allow someone to do that about the Holocaust. He would be taken off the air right then and there if he had said anything about the Holocaust.
The Jews at all. Yes.
If DeSantis had said the Holocaust, Jewish people have benefited from the Holocaust, he'd be stripped and taken off the air. If Tim Scott said right now, Jewish people have survived their welfare, whatever, it's worse for them than Holocaust, he would be stripped and taken off the air. So I'm done and I'm tired of black people allowing this.
I think a lot of times too, like a Tim Scott, and that other guy you said that was running, that other black guy.
For what?
Right, he was running for president. He didn't make enough to get on to
the
debate.
Elder.
Yeah. A lot of
Larry
times
Elder.
They feel like they're using themselves as the poster boy. Like, I made it.
So what? You made it, you big dummy.
So can you. I made it.
And I'm
with a single mom.
I'm sitting up here working in, and people don't know our background. I've worked in low income neighborhoods with kids as a teacher. So I'm sick and tired of these guys with this I made it out and why can't you make it out? And I got kids coming to school barely able to make it past gun violence.
Oh God!
These kids they live when I do my humor. They live it. They don't even want to leave class. They love it so much. Can we stay here? They need programs. Home. They need stuff like that. They don't have the same stuff. And there are some kids who excel past it.
Exactly.
Yes, it is. There's some kids that excel past it, but there's some that don't.
Yeah, there's still a lot that don't. And still don't have the opportunity or not given the opportunity or not challenged.
Yes.
There are people that are not challenged.
They get paid. The government pays them to fail.
Yeah.
So if he wants to have a legitimate conversation, which is why I'm not a Democrat.
Exactly.
Because I feel like the Democrats get paid off of black people not making it. And even Joe Biden said, "You're black. Of course you're going to vote for me." How dare you assume that every black person gonna vote for you?
That's true. And is that Latino as well?
And the Latino. So if we want to have a real conversation,
I think they should just
about the Democratic Party or about any of that. Let's have that, not about slavery.
Kind of like what our pastor said in the past with us. When you start talking to other denominations, he said, look at how they view Jesus, those of us who are Christians. Now, if you're not a Christian, don't take what I'm saying to heart. But those who are saying they're born again believers, we have different denominations, different teachings, different areas where we may offend somebody or they don't know that or they don't believe that. He says how they view Jesus is the main thing. We all believe the same thing about Jesus and what he's done for us on Calvary. Tim Scott, I'm using this as an example, needs to leave racial things alone.
Yes.
And how he answers it. Because right now, like you're saying, he's catering to a certain person to vote for him. But I think, too, he's using himself as the poster child saying, if I can succeed and do what I'm doing, you can too.
Yes.
And he's not being sensitive or using wisdom when he talks. So, yeah, he's pretty much the mush mouth.
He's a mush mouth.
He's a mush mouth.
All right, so move on from him. But he irritated me with that. He irritated me with that.
Yeah. Okay. And I guess too, sometimes him being black think he can get away with saying it.
That's why they put him up there, because he's black. They think that because somebody's black, they can say anything. Well, Kanye found out the hard way. You can't. Just because
Tim Scott said it, it's true.
No, just because you black don't mean you can say anything.
He's not the spokesperson for every black person.
Real quick, while they were there, Donald Trump was at a non-union facility.
It wasn't non-union.
It was non-union.
It wasn't the UAW?
No. And look at the signs and stuff. He made it seem like he was speaking in front of a crowd of union people, and he wasn't. He was at a plant, but the plant was non-union.
You're kidding.
And some of the stuff that came out from what he said, I told you about the no candidate is going to be a VP or a cabinet member of his. He said something about, because he's still losing his mind a little bit. He was talking about electric boats. And if the boat sinks or something, only thing you'll be sitting on is the battery or something, sinking down to the bottom. Or he's just a dummy. And then about you getting shocked or something. You don't get shocked with an electric battery from a car. He's a moron. So that's
what he
one.
Talked about? Oh, because that's why they're making cars.
He talked about working for you. Oh, he told the crowd that he's working for them, not himself. He said he wants you to be rich, not him. He wants to enrich your lives, not his. Well, he has no choice. He's getting stripped of all his money.
He may need their help afterwards.
And then I made the comment.
What? I know. He can't help nobody.
Then I made the comment that he was at a non-union plant, speaking in front of non-union people. Do you know what the union workers...
I thought they'd let them go. Some of them.
What are you talking about?
I thought the companies... Well, I don't know if all of the car dealers...
Non-union?
Yeah, the non-union people.
Oh, I don't know.
I heard that they fired them or let them sent them home.
When, today?
Laid them off. Well, who was it that they laid off? The regular workers that are non-unionized.
Yeah, but these are at another facility. They're just non-union.
Okay.
But anyway, so him talking to them, making it seem like the union people like him. But the actual union people spoke out today. They don't like him. They said he was nowhere when they tried to get wages raised back in the day when he was president. Mm-hmm. He didn't help them then. Mm-hmm. They said he has never spoke out or helped them.
This is just a ploy for this.
This is just a ploy for running for president. Okay. But I don't know why he did that. Oh, so he could appear like he's for workers.
Yeah.
And he's not.
But he's not even, like you're saying, he's not even with the union. He's with the non-union workers.
I don't know.
That defeats
And then they
purpose.
said some of the people that was at that actual event weren't even workers. It was just some planted people in the audience.
Oh, Lord.
A lot of the people that were there weren't even workers.
I believe that.
They were just Trump's.
Because you know he's about crowds. So he's happy that people are even coming, even going through the crowds
they said
to be there.
One person held a sign that said union members for Trump. That one right here. But admitted to newspapers that she was not a union member. Another carried a play card with the words auto workers for Trump and confessed he was not even an auto worker.
I'm surprised. Can they get sued?
Nah, you can hold a sign up.
I'm not a union worker.
It don't matter. I'll hold it up for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's something that's not.
So I thought that was funny.
Picketing. You're not.
I just thought that was
that's
ridiculous.
Funny.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. I don't want to spend that much more time on him. He has enough stuff going on. It just came out. I told you that he appealed the decision of the court in New York, the civil case that's stripping him of all his money and stuff. Mm-hmm. And they shot that down and said the trial is going to still go on. So he's probably going to keep trying to appeal. He's suing. He's doing he's going to fight all the way. He's going to fight.
Okay.
But he's not going to win that one. All right. Speaking of not winning something, Amazon.
What happened?
Well, you saw this story the other day.
I didn't read it all the way through.
It says a small venture capital player becomes a symbol in the fight over corporate diversity. Oh, I'm looking at something else, Lord Jesus. U.S. government and 17 states sue Amazon in landmark monopoly case. The U.S. government, so it's the United States, and 17 states are suing the Amazon in a landmark monopoly case, reflecting years of allegations that Amazon abused its economic dominance and harmed fair competition. Now, remember, we kept asking when somebody was probably going to sue Amazon.
Yeah, because they're monopolizing the whole industry for what they're doing.
But my question is, I like Amazon.
I know. We tried Wayfair.
And that other one that people talking about.
The only thing, the concern I have with Wayfair, you get just what I need. No, you don't have just what I need because they have a lot of nice items and we bought a lot of stuff from them, a lot of furniture. But once you try to send it back, You got to have a reason.
It says here, because of Amazon's dominance in the e-commerce, sellers have little option but to accept Amazon's terms. That is true. The FTC alleges resulting in resulting in higher prices for consumers and a worse consumer experience. Amazon also ranks its own products in marketplace search results higher than those sold by third parties. Well, I understand that. If it's just my product, I'm going to put it higher than everybody else's.
Exactly.
So I don't know.
Because you can sell your product even on Amazon.
What's the best way to go against somebody is to have a better product.
Yeah. Better
Wayfair
service.
Wayfair could do it.
I told them when I went to return a sofa, it was a sofa that you could put the ottoman side section on both sides. And the one section our handyman was putting it together, he said, this side is broke. He won't let me even put it on the other side. So we went back and forth with them. Your reason, you have to have a specific reason from the drop down. It's either...
And you got to talk to somebody.
It has to be either a need repair, broken, damaged. It was something else, but not... For Amazon, you can order the wrong thing and say the color is off. I thought it was going to be blue and it's not as vibrant. Don't want it anymore. Boom. You can send it back.
And the way to send it back, you can go to UPS, you can go to Cole, you can go to...
I had to pay to send a rug back
you have
to
to
Wayfair.
Pay to send it back. And there's nowhere to send it. You got to come pick it up.
The rug it didn't really fit our living room. It was too big because I did the measurements, but it just looked funny looking.
The few times we used another service, I didn't like it.
And then two, I always Google whatever item it is, if it's a vase or a picture or whatever, and I look at other sites to see if it's on. It may be in Walmart store online. Yeah. It may be on Target. It may be Amazon. It may be Wayfair. And I'll go with whoever's the cheapest. But if it's on Amazon, I'm going for Amazon.
So I don't know. I guess it is a monopoly, but
yeah, so far. And Wayfair, I talked to one of the customer service, and we actually had a long talk. She said, you're right. That is very good what Amazon does. We're working on trying to do that.
See?
Wayfair is trying to up their game with how returning things.
So I don't know. You think they're going to win?
They gotta, where you get the money from for doing that? Amazon do they push back on the person who, the manufacturer of that product?
No, yeah, they charge you more. Like for instance, how our book is on Amazon.
Oh no, we got Prime. That's why.
No, but I'm saying even when you price your stuff, they're right. Because they are such a good service, you could probably get a better price somewhere else, but everybody goes to Amazon.
But so
that's why you just say I put it on Amazon.
Aside from what you just said, we pay for Prime. That's a subscription where you don't have to pay for your stuff when it's returned. We order so much. It's worth the subscription.
See here,
Wayfair said they may do something like that.
For example, according to the FTC, Amazon has harmed competition by requiring sellers on its platform to purchase Amazon's in-house logistics service in order to secure the bestseller benefits, referred to as Prime, which you just said.
Yes.
It also claims that the company anti-competitivity forces sellers to list their products on Amazon at the lowest prices anywhere on the web, instead of allowing sellers to offer their products at competing marketplaces. So I can't put my book anywhere else. I can only sell it on Amazon.
Because they're doing the fulfillment, though.
But that's what they're saying. You should be able to just pay for the fulfillment and be able to sell your stuff anywhere you want.
But you even said, aside from them doing the fulfillment of our book, we could also purchase the book. Well, no, I thought you mean we can't sell it online anywhere
I can't sell it anywhere else.
We can sell it on the streets.
Yes, but I can't sell this anywhere else.
That's right, because they did the fulfillment for us.
See? But
we pay Prime. I think if you work with Amazon so much, it's worth doing the Prime where you don't pay for your shipping.
I don't know. I just think that it's going to be hard to beat them.
Yeah, you're going to have to give up some things as a company. Wayfair is close. And that Temu, what's the name of it? That Emerald told us about, or whoever it was.
That one too. I was like, somebody said don't go to them.
A lot of people order from them too.
So then that's your competition.
Yeah. I don't know if the returns are the same as Amazon.
So we'll see if this lawsuit goes anyway. But we love Amazon.
Our government is strict on making sure companies are not monopolizing it.
Except for them, they can monopolize.
Well, you think the healthcare industry would be looked at better than that?
Right.
So I know Nikki Haley had a ideal on how to make changes to that.
Okay. All right, y'all. So that was it with that one. Okay. Amazon. Now, this is the one I started reading before. I keep saying I'm going to talk about these Black women's company, and I keep forgetting about doing that. Well, Ben Crump, when he jumped into something. He's their lawyer. A small venture capital player becomes a symbol in the fight over corporate diversity policies. A venture capital firm that has backed busy new biz companies like restaurant chain Slutty Vegan and beauty brand Live Tinted has become a symbol of the fight over corporate diversity policies since becoming a target of a lawsuit over a grant program for Black women. So this company, they give grants to Black women to open up their businesses. Right. Okay? But the Fearless Fund, that's what it's called, is a tiny player in approximately 200 billion global venture capital market. Okay? So they're a little tiny. They don't even dent what's going on in the global venture capital market, which is over $200 billion. The Atlanta-based firm has invested $27 million in some 40 businesses led by women of color since launching in 2019 and awarded another $3.7 million in grants. Collectively, those businesses employ about 540 people, up to 250 at the time of the investment, according to the Fearless Fund's impact report. Okay, you in your eyes. While the money has made a big difference to those businesses, Fearless Fund co-founder Arian Simone said it's a drop in the bucket compared to the systemic, I always say that word, changes that needed to close the racial and gender gap in venture capital funding. It's a lot harder for people who have color sometimes to get these loans. Right? Mm-hmm. So we know that. Less than 1% of the venture capital funding goes to businesses owned by Black and Hispanic women. Mm-hmm. Less than 1%. So there's kind of open this thing up to kind of bridge that gap, because it's kind of hard for Black women and Latino women to get these venture loans. Mm-hmm. So they come up with their program and decide, hey, let's help out.
Because the playing field is not even.
Yeah. Well, somebody decided to sue them. The lawsuit against the Fearless Fund was filed by Edward Bloom, the conservative activist who filed the affirmative action cases before the Supreme Court. It targets the fund's grant contest, which awards $20,000 to women who run businesses, arguing it violates a section of the Civil Rights Act 1866. They love how to talk about reverse discrimination.
Yes. And historically put those laws in place so we couldn't do things with them. So when we finally find a way to help our own, where the playing field was not even, they now come back and use that same law to hurt us.
It says, well, there's a thing I saw today. There's an actual daycare. I got to look where it is. If y'all know, comment down below. That says white kids only.
Yeah.
You saw it?
No, I believe it.
And they said on the thing, it's not racist.
It's a private place, isn't it?
It's because they want kids to be with other kids of their same color or whatever, and they can learn from each other. Mm-hmm. And they trying to say that's the same as HBCUs and Black colleges. It's a white school, like for white kids to learn about their heritage and stuff.
But our HBCUs do not. We do allow other races to come.
It's a dumb thing. Bloom's organization, American Alliance for Equal Rights, has also filed lawsuits against 2 law firms in Texas and Florida. In an interview with him, the organization brought the case against the Fearless Fund. This is what he says. A useful way of determining the fairness and ultimately the legality of a policy is to apply the shoe on the other foot test, he said. Asking whether a different venture capital fund requirement that only white men are eligible for the fund, is that legal? Because their fund says only Black women and Latino women. He's saying that's racist because if I started a fund that says only white men, then you would say that I couldn't have that fun, that's racist.
You are, and the funny thing about it is that you don't have to start one. There are some.
That's the point.
They don't get it.
They don't get it.
If I start an all white women
you
group,
already got one.
That's wrong. Oh, what do you mean if you start one now?
You already got one.
Since 1800s, there's been white women groups.
So Benjamin Crump has taken up the case, and he is going to, when you can show, we always give this example with the house thing. People that we know, black couple go to get the house, they can't get it. Send their white friend to go get it, they get it. At a lower interest rate. You get ready to sell your house. We're going to take you got to take down these African art down. You don't want people to know what race you are. Don't have no pictures up or nothing. Yeah. They don't know whose house this is.
Systemic racism.
Come on, y'all.
They do it even at the health, what do you call it? The insurance companies.
Yes.
When you open a claim, they may give you a different amount, a different percentage as a black family with your house flooding or whatever,
right,
to a white family. So it's systemic racism is everywhere.
Yep.
And for Tim Scott to say racism is not in this world,
he's an idiot.
He came from under a rock.
Yes.
Gosh.
So
I pray they do well. Now, is this a private owned company or is it government based?
No, it's private.
I thought, because Sonny brought this up on The View.
Mm-hmm.
She said the discrimination law doesn't apply to a private company.
But I just said that school. What if you have a school that says only white kids?
You know what? If they want all the way, that's the thing that I don't like about the people in this country. When we say freedom of speech, the Ku Klux Klan want to be a part of that parade, and they want to do their freedom of speech let them. What is wrong with that? It's freedom of speech. Right. We may not like the speech. We may think it's evil, hatred, whatever, but they are allowed freedom.
Right.
So that white school can be its white school, and who cares? But let us have our black one.
That's right. All right. So I haven't seen this documentary.
We're waiting for this to come.
It's supposed to come September 29th, and it's called Invisible Beauty. I wish you had the what you call it. You said you saw this thing.
It's a trailer.
Oh, you on the same page as mine? Oh, yeah, you are. Yeah. Okay, go ahead and... Oh, let me see what it is. So it is... you saw the other one with this other model.
The other model.
What's her name?
Danielle Luna.
And then this one is another model, Bethane Hardison. Her son is Kadeem Hardison.
It was on
Different World. And
Dwayne Wayne.
And the Blackula with
he sure was. It was a sidekick.
Right.
Losing all his fingers.
And these are models that were back in the early 1960s and 70s or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were discriminated against. So they kind of paved the way for people like Beverly Johnson and them. But nobody talks about them.
Women of color. So
now all of these documentaries are coming out about their lives. And it's good because nobody knows about them. Right. So this one was at the Sundance Film Festival. Got high ratings. It's supposed to come out September 29th.
I want to see hers, definitely. But go ahead.
You saw the other one, though.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Do that thing and make it big.
I always know, because I've lived life long enough, you can change things. You might need to be your foot against the pedal, but you can change things. I remember one editor from Glamour said to me, "Beth Ann, do you really think you can make a difference?" And I just started laughing. I've done it before.
Over the years, our next guest has been a model, an agent, and an activist, and now she's leading the fight to bring diversity to the runway.
Everyone's talking about diversity and inclusion right now. That directly stems from the work that Beth Ann did. She laid the foundation.
She's been the godmother of fashion. The images that we see, whether it's in a magazine or a movie, really influence how we see ourselves and also how others see us. And whether people know or not, she has changed the way beauty is defined.
Without her existing, then the opportunities wouldn't exist for me to to do what I love. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Much of what's happened in the past 20 years would probably be another 25 years in coming without her.
She is, to me, Black history. And I tell people, once you meet this person, it's going to change your life, whether you like it or not.
All right, so that's coming September 29th. What I like about this is that now all of these Black women are finally able to be shown for who they are. And it took how many years for us to start seeing this? Stuff like this.
Struggle that they went through even then. Because back to the comment about having to deal with racism and our color, our complexion, our women of color not being accepted.
They wasn't able to be on magazines.
Not on the front cover at all.
Right.
The one thing I do like about this model versus Daniela Luna, she got a lot of slack, Daniela Luna, because she moved to another country.
What was the name of her documentary? Do you remember?
Her name.
So Daniela Luna. Hers is on Netflix. And then this one, I believe it's coming to Netflix. I'm not sure, but it's called Invisible Beauty.
I like her story
because she stayed here
because she's an activist.
Yeah,
a lot of people shun Danielle Luna because she was. It's almost like she was ashamed. Of being Black. So she's not going to be a spokesperson for Black women.
Okay,
it just happened for her, and the Black models saw her and went, yes, but she wasn't vocal. She didn't get out there like this lady did.
Yeah. Did she open the doors for a lot of these people? That's why you heard them.
Yes.
A lot of people couldn't even be in fashion if it wasn't for people like her.
Right.
So that's a good one to watch. Yeah. I wanted to bring that to everybody's attention.
All right.
All right. So I always try to do something funny. All right.
Okay.
And this is Desi 4018. Oh, you make it bigger?
If I can.
No, that's probably the biggest. It's cutting his head off.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Go back.
What is wrong with people?
Oh my God. On your wedding day.
And look at her face. Look at her face. Watch this. Keep your eye on her face. What is wrong with people?
Did he not think he could lift his leg higher than his wife's head? And that, I'm sure that hard shoe hurt. Oh my God.
Hey, Mom.
So her whole right side.
Did you watch the I Feel Good ones? Did you go back and look at those?
The I Feel Good video, Mama?
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
That's funny. Each one of them was how they were scared.
I Feel Good.
I'm going to go back and watch that one.
Okay.
Wendy says, what channel? I believe it's going to be on Netflix, Wendy. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Invisible Beauty.
Danielle Luna is on Netflix, so I think this one may come to Netflix.
It'll probably be on Netflix.
Because I said the
September
name.
29th.
I said the name in Netflix, and it says coming soon.
Coming soon. So most of these are coming soon.
That looks like a good name. I didn't know that was Kadeem
Hardison's mom.
Hardison's mom.
Isn't that something?
That's beautiful.
His mother.
He said she pushed them, though. Because I'm sure his acting and all of that is behind his mom is behind him.
So that's that one. I thought that was funny.
Okay.
That guy. One more time.
Okay. And his heel.
Somebody said he knew good and darn well that his leg was not going to go over her head.
Oh my God.
This guy always has funny stuff. this guy's
Every
page.
time I see it, I laugh. That's not right.
Go to this guy's page because his stuff is always funny.
It
He's
Desi,
a comedian.
Desi
4018.
4018.
He always has funny stuff. Look at this
my
one.
God.
This little kid.
That's what they
Why would you slap
Ghetto kids.
in my clown suit. They kicked us
last goddamn day? Play that shit.
and was pulling on our outfit.
Who does that? Now that's ghetto.
They were baby kids. Yeah.
Now, if Tim Scott wants to talk about that, we'll talk about that.
What's his name on the Wayans?
Which one?
Homie the Clown. My friend and I became Homie the Clowns at the end of the day. Boy, get up. And we would pull his shirt. Because you kicking us. That's just not right.
This guy, I don't want to show that one. That was, this one was funny. I remember.
Oh, it's not good. We laughing.
And then he always do that with his cat or something at the end.
Okay.
So go to his page.
How did he fall?
He has a lot of funny stuff on his page.
That's funny. Okay.
Yeah, he has a lot
follow him.
Yeah, he has a lot of funny stuff on his page. So
Desi,
push it to the limit.
What is it, Desi?
Yeah,
4018.
I think it was his page or somebody. It was two other old men running, and the one man's pants fell down, and he fell. Old man. All right. Okay. You always want to know what time am I at?
Yeah, we
Wendy said, "Did Lenore send the link for Friends on Friday?" It's the same link, Wendy.
It is?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you that.
It's the same link. So use the same link.
Let us know if you need to send it. If we
need to send it again, let us know. All right. And if you got a story you want to talk about, text it to me, Wendy, ahead of time. All right. Push it to the limit. You always want to know who Charlemagne the God's donkey of the day is. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Charlemagne the God's. Oh, good. We on time. Donkey of the day goes to this pilot. This pilot snorts cocaine off of women, gets fired from British Airways after a drug test.
I didn't get when they said off of women.
He had a night of partying where he would put cocaine like on their breasts and sniff it off of them and stuff. Okay. A British Airways pilot was fired after reports of him snorting cocaine off a woman before flying a passenger aircraft to London. The pilot, who is married, according to a Sun newspaper report, was flagged after he bragged about indulging in the drug to a stewardess who reported the incident.
He didn't think she was going to say something.
He thought she wasn't going to say.
Yeah.
You think I'm going to let you get up into the plane?
Thank
and
you.
You just had a night of cocaine?
Put people's lives in jeopardy because of me possibly being so high?
He's Mike Beaton, a father of one, who's supposed to operate a 12-hour flight from Johannesburg, South Africa, to the British capital city in August. However, upon the flight attendant's report, Beaton was taken off his shift and replaced with another first officer, according to the British tabloids. The flight was delayed overnight.
What is wrong with him?
After flying him to London as a passenger the following day, Beaton tested positive for cocaine in a drug test at Heathrow Airport.
She may have saved some people's lives.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Flight Attendant. Thank you.
He said, "I've lost my shirt somewhere, and one of the local lads produces a plate with a few lines of coke." One of the text messages said. He had text people, according to the Sun report. He said he then supposedly proceeded to one of their apartments with the women, where he was offered cocaine that he accepted and snorted off a topless woman's breast.
He's funny looking too.
The Civil Aviation Authority has revoked his medical certificate, essentially banning him from operating a passenger aircraft.
Yes, not a plane, dude. You can't, What is wrong with him?
Push it to the limit.
She's asking what's his name.
What's his name?
You think the video thing that you just showed, is that what Wendy wants to know?
Which one?
The one to follow, that he's funny?
Oh, the funny
The
guy?
TikTok guy, if that's what you're saying.
The
'Cause I don't think
TikTok
you want to
guy.
know this man name.
This guy is Desi. How to go back up? Make it smaller. Desi 4018.
DESI 4018. If you want to follow him.
Yeah, he's funny.
He has a lot of funny videos.
He's a comedian.
TikToks.
He's a comedian. Oh, this one was funny too. This grandfather.
Get him! Get him!
Get him.
Get him!
He wants the juice.
How you gonna drown in that? And that lady laughing.
Uncle Larry almost died.
So he's funny. He has a lot of funny stuff on his.
What happened there? She almost choked?
No, he's feeding her some grapes or something.
Oh, you saw most of these?
Yeah, that wasn't funny. It's the ones that I thought are funny. I tell you they funny. Let me see.
He remind me of that King. What's his name? The guy that's King something. He does funny stuff.
Yeah, this is an accident waiting to happen.
Shit, he could barely hold himself up. God damn. I think they're gonna break up after this.
Getting that ground.
That looked like an accident. Some things is an accident waiting to happen.
Thank you.
But yeah, his name is Desi 4018. But he's funny.
Is he? Okay.
Or he just has funny stuff.
I be digging. He don't be digging like me.
That's not
I
funny.
think we all have that friend
That's
that kind of like land.
That's a dumb
He
friend.
knocked him off.
Yeah.
He probably got hurt. Oh, Lord.
Let's go.
Oh! He needs some milk.
He needs some milk.
He's stupid. All right, y'all. That's
sound like
it.
his bones cracked. Is that probably why she said that? Okay.
All right, y'all. That's it.
Okay.
All right. So don't forget to get our book, 100 Family-Friendly Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually looking at the new book now. Going through the jokes.
Yes.
That'll be out as soon as we can get it published. Volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Always believe.
And that was another Woods Report. See y'all later.